Hi everyone. So now we have talked about increasing, decreasing. We are going to be using something called the first derivative test to find relative extrema. So you may have picked up on there is a quick, fast way to figure out if a function, if an extrema is a max or a min when looking at the derivative. All right, so if this is the graph of f, where is this increasing and where is it decreasing? Right, so let's say this is let's say that's -2, and this is, let's pretend that's 2, even though we know it's not, it's 0. So where is this increasing? So it's increasing from -infinity to -2, and then 2 to infinity. It's decreasing from -2 to 2. Technically at 0, it's not actually decreasing. It's 0 at that point, but it's neither increasing nor decreasing. But okay, so now where is the relative max and min? Well, the relative max is right here. And what's happening at that point? It's changing from an increasing function to a decreasing function. And then the min is at 2, and at this point, it's changing from decreasing to increasing. And that's what the first derivative test tells us. So the first derivative test, f is continuous. C is a critical number, right? C is a critical number. So if f prime is greater than 0, and then f prime is less than 0, then f of c is a relative max. So the slope goes from a positive to a negative. It's a minimum if it goes from a decreasing function, right, decreasing to an increasing. F prime has the same sign on both sides of c, then c is neither. So in that case before, if we have something like this, when we take the derivative, we'll get a 0 or an undefined, but it's increasing and then increasing, so that would be a neither. So here's some pictures, and a lot of time I'll draw this picture for myself when I'm looking at the signs. So this graph is going from a negative slope to a positive slope, so it's a minimum, a positive to a negative, a maximum, and then it goes from positive to 0 to positive again. That's a neither. And then a negative to a 0 to a negative is also a neither. Okay, so find the local extrema and determine if they are maxima, minima, or neither. So this process, pretty straightforward. It's the same thing we've been doing. We're going to take the derivative, set it equal to 0, find our critical numbers, and then use those to decide. So f prime, 4x cubed minus 9x squared. I'm going to factor and solve, so I get x squared, 4x minus 9. So my critical numbers are at 0 and 9/4. So now I'm going to look, just like with the increasing, decreasing, I'm going to plug in on a number line. This is f prime. This is 9/4, and this is 0. So I'm going to plug in some numbers and see what I get, a positive or negative. If I plug in -1 into the derivative, remember we're plugging into the derivative, 1 squared is a positive 1 times a negative, so that's a negative. If I plug in 1, I get a positive times a negative again. So what does that tell us about 0? 0 is a neither. So like I said before, it doesn't necessarily go every other. And then 9/4 is a little over 2, so I'm going to plug in 3. So that's a positive times a positive, so a positive. So x equals 0 is a neither, right? X equals 0 is neither a max or min because f prime doesn't change sign. at that point. And then x equals 9 over 4 is so what is that one? So it's going from a negative, so a decreasing function, to an increasing function, so that's a minimum, is a relative min because f prime changes from negative to positive. That's it. Notice I said f prime. Do not use the word it. It changes. What changes? Are you talking about f? Are you talking about f prime? Are you talking about f double prime? Super important never to use the word it. You need to be specific. All right, so that's x to the 2/3 times x minus 5. Try this one on your own. So I know this is the hard one for the derivative. F prime equals 2/3 x to the negative 1/3 times x minus 5 plus x to the 2/3 times 1. So let's see. I'm going to rewrite that. 2 times x minus 5 over 3 times the cubed root of x plus the cubed root of x squared. So I need a common denominator. So I'm going to multiply. I need a 3 cubed root of x on the bottom. So I end up with 2x minus 5 on top, and then this gives us 3x. Right, because the cubed root of x squared and the cubed root of x turns into just an x, and then there's the 3. So that gives us 5x minus 5 all over the cubed root of x equals 0. So my critical numbers here are 0 and 1. Right? Set the numerator equal to 0, and I get 1. Set the denominator equal to 0, and I get 0. All right, so now f prime. I'm going to plug in 0 and 1, pick some numbers on either side. So if I plug in 2, that's a positive. That's 10 minus 5, a positive over a positive. If I plug in a half, that gives me a negative on top. The bottom's always positive, so a negative, and then I plug in negative 1. That gives me a negative on the bottom. Right, the cubed root of a negative is a negative, and then a negative on the top, so I get a positive. So at x equals 1, what do we have? X equals 1, that's going from decreasing to increasing, is a relative min, and then x equals 0 is a relative max. Oops, I didn't finish writing that word. Because that's going positive slope to negative slope, right? F prime changes from minus to plus. F prime changes from plus to minus. All right, here's another one. See if you can do this one on your own. All right, h prime, derivative of the first times the second, plus the first derivative of the second. Chain rule, so derivative of the inside is negative 2x. All right, set this equal to 0. So I need a common denominator, so this is going to be times 2, 9 minus x squared. So 2, oops, that ends up getting squared. So I get 2, 9 minus x squared on top, minus 2x squared, all over 2, 9 minus x squared. Let's see, what's that give us? 18 minus 4x squared all over 2, 9 minus x squared. Let's see. So if we set the bottom equal to 0, we get plus or minus 3. The top equal to 0, we get x squared equals 18 over 4. So x equals plus or minus square root of 18, 3 root 2. It's a 9 times 2. All right, so we got 4 numbers here. Ugh, this is a lot of work. All right, 2/3 times the square root. Let's think about this. The square root of 18 is about, it's a little over 4. So say if it's 5 over 4 is just 1 point something. So it's a little smaller. So we have negative 3 root 2 over 2, and then over here is negative 3. 3 root 2 over 2, positive 3. So I'm going to do negative 4, negative 2, 0, 2, and 4. So those are what I'm going to be plugging into the top. All right, so if I plug in negative 4, oh wait, I can't plug in negative 4. That's an endpoint because you can't plug in negative 4 into the bottom. Oh wait, I'm plugging into the original. Nope, that still doesn't work. No, I'm plugging into the derivative. But we can't plug in anything. Negative 3 is an endpoint, so that's not going to work. All right, so let's try negative 2. So 4 times 4 is 16, so that's a positive on top. And then we're going to have a positive on the bottom. Plug in 0, we get a positive. Plug in 2, we get a positive. So this always works? So this is so I'm saying it has none. This doesn't have any? Wow. Okay, I did this wrong. The square root of 3 root 2 over 2 is bigger than 2. I'm like, I knew something was off here. We have to pick like 2.9. Because if we go slightly bigger than 2, that becomes like 4 minus 18, like minus 20. So we do get a negative. So I did this wrong. I was like, that just didn't make sense. So these are minuses. But we can't do the endpoints. So because this is the square root, we're not going to have anything at negative 3 and 3. So those are neither. But x equals 3 root 2 over 2 is a relative min, because it goes from decreasing to increasing, and then negative. And then 3 root 2 over 2 is a relative max, because it goes positive to negative. Yeah, so be careful with that. That's the square root of 18 is 4 point something divided by 4. This ends up being bigger than 2. I divided wrong in my head. I don't know. Oh, because I didn't take the square root of the 4. So it's 4 point something divided by 2, which is 2 point something. So we need a number bigger than 2.12 when I plugged in my calculator. So that's what I did wrong. So make sure you're plugging in a big enough number. So I wasn't picking a number in the correct interval. This number 2 is like over here. All right, so this is a graph of f prime. Determine where f has a relative extrema. Explain your answers. So remember, critical numbers, f prime equals 0 at what points? X equals negative 3, negative 1, 2, and 4. So now what's happening? Negative 3, remember this is the graph of the derivative. What's happening? Is that a max, a min, or neither? This is a min. It's a relative min. Why? Because f prime down here is less than 0. So it's going from less than 0 to greater than 0. Right? If we think of this as our little number line that we've been using, negative 3, it's going from negative to positive. And then at negative 1, it goes from positive to negative. And then at 2, negative, and then negative again, and then 4, it goes positive again. So x equals negative 3 is a min, x equals 1 is a relative max, 2 is neither, and 4 is a min. Because f prime changes from negative to positive at x equals negative 3 and x equals 4. F prime changes from positive to negative at x equals negative 1. Right? And it stays negative at 2, so it doesn't change. All right, same idea. How about this one? So what are your critical numbers? So the critical numbers are negative 2, 0, 2, and 4. Because remember, the critical numbers are where the derivative does not exist. The derivative does not exist at 0 because of the vertical tangent line, and at 2 because there's a jump. Which of those is a relative extrema? So at the vertical asymptote, this is above the x-axis and above the x-axis, so that's positive, positive. So 0 is a neither. And then the same with this jump, it's above and above. So the y, so f prime is above on both sides, so that's a neither. At negative 2, what's happening? It's below and then it goes above. So that's decreasing and then increasing. So that's minimum. And then at 4, it's above and then below, so that's increasing to decreasing, so that's a relative max. And we're just saying because f prime changes from negative to positive. Now be careful. You can say f prime changes from negative to positive, or you can say f changes from decreasing to increasing. But don't confuse the two, because if you said f prime is changing from decreasing to increasing, that would be wrong, because that's not the explanation. All right, and there is your homework. Have a fabulous day.